Hey, what's up guys? This is Ducky. Today I'm going to show you guys some flashes on Reyna for the map Ascent. We're going to start with attack because, as a duelist, it's really good to know how to attack, and you also need to know how to defend, of course, but attacking is what we're going to start with. So basically,
This poor place. It
um,
clings to life.
there's a few different ways you
She
can
after my own heart.
throw
My own
Reyna
friend.
flashes, and we can start with A-Site. The most common way people throw Reyna flashes is kind of just like in the air like this. You can see I'll use this thing for reference. So you can see I kind of come to where this bullet is as far as my um like height whenever I'm aiming, just level. So people kind of like to throw somewhere kind of like this for most random flashes. Personally, I kind of like to throw mine at the floor. It doesn't really matter too much, but basically you can think about like what is going to be good to blind the enemy that they might not be able to shoot as quick. So if you throw a flash like this, where is the enemy's crosshair placed? That's over here. Their crosshair, if they're good, is placed just like this. So if you throw a random blind like right here, they're gonna have a really easy time shooting it because, well, that's where their crosshair is at. They're expecting someone to peek right here, so their crosshair is placed where the person's head is gonna be right here. So you wanna not flash super close to this because then that means that they're gonna be able to shoot it and kill it really quick. So this is just going to be like a general rule of thumb. I'm only going to explain this like right now, but you can flash. It doesn't matter where you flash, like I said. You can flash low, you can flash high, as long as it's not super high. But you can flash. I like to flash on the floor because it's really easy to do. Whenever you're like moving your crosshair around, you can like throw one and then quickly change your aim back up. Voice crack. But yeah. So if you want to throw it this height, you can throw it maybe over here or something. Just think about where you can throw it that they won't expect pretty much. That's the general rule here. So I'm gonna throw this like
Cutting
this.
their vision.
This is this is good because like if you throw this and the person is holding this, they have to, instead of just shooting the random blind that's right here, they have to aim down or look over here wherever you throw it. Look up. This is also a good one that a lot of good randas use. You can throw it up like this.
Still in sight.
You see, this pretty much blinds everything. There's nothing anyone can do here except for shoot it. And if you throw one like this, down or up, then you have to adjust your crosshair. And then if you have a teammate and you tell them, okay, I'm flashing for you,
Still in sight.
then they peek with you. And then the person here is forced to either shoot this and then readjust their aim, which means they're unlikely to get the kill onto the person here. Or they can run back, or they can just shoot through the blind, which is just quite dangerous. So yeah, they're basically only two options are to shoot the blind and then fight whoever's peeking, and then or run back, or go like wine, I guess. But yeah, so that's the first flash. This is for A main. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna stop talking less about like why you should throw here and here and up, but instead I'm just gonna kind of talk about um the specific blinds you can use. So for this, you can see this is quite a wide gap to get out into A site. So um usually if you want to push with your team, there's, like I said, there's a bunch of flashes you can do. You can throw kind of like, you can even throw through walls. I should have already mentioned this as well, but you can obviously throw through walls. Is you see, you can use the minimap for this. The only problem is you don't want to get it stuck in like you don't want to throw it directly in front of you. You don't want to throw it in walls because that can happen sometimes. But you just kind of get used to like how high you're throwing it
Cutting their vision.
through the wall. This is not bad. Like I said, you can pretty much do either side here. So if you wanted to, you could go like this.
Still in sight.
It also kind of depends where you think they're playing. So like you can see this one will get angles that this one will not over here. You can also throw like this, more in the middle, also toward the floor, so they're forced to shoot it before they can fight anyone. Another good flash, if you have teammates pushing in through cat, this is
Still in sight.
really a good flash because look what this blinds. This blinds pretty much everything here. The only thing it won't blind is
There.
this right here, so like you could probably get one that does that actually though. Maybe.
Cutting their vision.
Yeah, of course. So you can do this. This blinds. They might even think you're coming from cat. This is the thing about random blinds. If you throw it through the wall, they're gonna have no clue. Um, well, they might have a clue, but they're not gonna have. Sometimes they won't be 100% sure where the Reyna flash came from. So that's something you should definitely start taking advantage of if you're maybe a little bit lower rank and you like to play Reyna. But yeah, for the specific flash out of A main here, there's nothing too crazy you can do because this whole area is quite wide open, so it's pretty good for Reyna flash. So, you know, come out, you close the door, you have control of sight now, and what can you do? So we can flash for heaven, we can play back here and then flash their A main again whenever they're pushing out heaven. We can flash with our team into here.
Feeling sight.
Honestly it's kind of hard to throw a bad Reyna flash, so I'm just trying to kind of I'm trying to think what you could throw that would be, or what I can tell you about Reyna flashes, like in certain situations, like whenever you have sight, you can throw one like this. You can throw one, a better one actually would probably be like this,
Cutting their vision.
because there's no way they're not getting blinded by this if they're in heaven, right? Like if you throw something like this, there's just no way. Like they have to just they have to be in this corner staring at the wall, and at that point they're dead. Oh, this is one I just came up with actually. Yeah, so you get creative with these blinds
Feeling sight.
once you get a little bit of Reyna, but this is good in certain situations if, you know, someone wants to peek from here or someone wants to come through up here, whatever the case might be. So yeah, but other than that, I mean, this is pretty much it. You can flash like this.
Feeling sight.
Whenever I'm in like a 1v3 or something, I get a kill, I know where they all are. I get one maybe, and then it's 1v2. I like to throw blinds where like
Cutting their vision.
I don't or that'll make my opponents think I'm gonna go somewhere else that I'm not. So if you flash like back up here like this, they might expect you to go one place and you can go the other if you think you know where they're expecting you to go. But yeah, that's a little bit vague, but you know, can definitely be useful at times. So now I'm gonna go to cat. There's you can flash here, but it doesn't do anything, I don't think, for deep mid because the Reyna flash actually has a distance. So if you flash like this, only people like here will get flashed by it, so there's not much of a point. You can instead just walk up, tell your team you're walking up, take the fights here, walk up, make sure you watch the B main push if you're pushing up. Watch here, make sure they don't peek close to mid. You can ask your team to smoke it as well. So a good flash for this, you throw on just like here.
Feeling sight.
Oh, not like that. Yeah, so this is kind of buggy, I just realized. Like, you can throw this in the wall, so make sure you don't do that, but... Oh, so this wouldn't actually be a good flash, but you can throw it like this.
Cutting their vision.
So what this does, this gets this corner, and if you do it right, you can get kind of like this line of sight as well from into here. You don't really need to flash for that. I don't usually flash for that, but I'm just trying to show you all the ones you could do. So usually you peek like this, and then you can flash into tree. This is not bad because this gets right here, this gets right here, and it gets right here, and then anyone that might be inside of sight here, and then yeah. So that's a pretty good flash. And then again, you can flash
Feeling sight.
however you'd like into A site or into here if you'd
Cutting
like.
their vision.
But I'm not gonna spend too much more time on A, because this video will likely get quite long, and I want to go ahead and go to B. So one of my favorite flashes on any map for Reyna is actually right here at B. I did not mean to ult, but I guess that's fitting since it's one of my favorite flashes. So you can see on the map here, you want to get it kind of like this, not too low and not too high. So kind of just like, you know, just like this, and boom, this is a crazy flash. Yeah, like basically people like to peek this a lot, and the purpose of this flash is to prevent people from being able to get any kills here. So what they can do though is they can maybe make it to this corner without your team realizing if your team's not really pushing. So the one thing about this flash is that you absolutely need to tell your team you're going to do it, because if you just do it, then the odds of it doing anything are unlikely. So for that reason, it might not be as great for lower ranks, but it's still something you should try to practice when you can. So basically how you do it is before the round starts, it's like, hey guys, come B, everyone in group B, we're gonna push B, play for some picks or something like that. And then you tell them you're gonna flash through the wall, and you can tell them that they can just peek. Make sure you tell them they can shoot Sova arrow, or make sure they know that if there's a Sova, they can shoot the arrow, because you know that might be dangerous. But you flash, because obviously if you flash here, you can't run all the way around. The flash will just disappear by the time you're there. So you flash for them, they peek over here, and yeah, they can't. The enemy can't do anything pretty much. So that's a really good flash. Do hope you guys enjoyed that one. But from here you can flash again, kind of really wherever you want. You got to think about all the different angles that they can peek you from. So
There.
they can peek from here,
There.
here, here,
There.
here, and they can be
There. There.
here, here, and here. So with this in mind, you want to kind of throw in maybe in the middle, unless you're trying to, unless you're like smoking everything off, or not everything, but if you're smoking
There.
the standard stuff off, you don't have to worry about these two as much, and maybe just kind of throw it for
Feeling sight.
here, and this will blind here, this corner, and then anyone that tries to peek from here or come out the smoke here, and also we'll blind most of lane, but lane is probably the main thing you want to worry about here, because you can see this blinds everything, but if someone's lane, this probably won't blind them, so maybe flash like this,
Feeling
and
sight.
then get ready to peek lane, make sure there's nobody lane. And yeah, that's a pretty good flash. You can throw some other ones for like maybe a retake or just, I don't know, a weird defense play. Throw it through the wall like this, and then, you know, this is a pretty good flash onto site. Like, you know, if you're, it's the same idea. Like if you did this flash over here,
There.
and you told your team to go in and your team successfully got a kill, then you can run up here while your team is running out to site, and you can flash for them. And you can see how this could be super easy just to take site, especially if the enemy doesn't expect something like this. Other than that, you can just flash through. Pretty simple flash here. You know, nothing really crazy. Throw it on the floor, but if you throw it on the floor, they can hide behind the box here more. So I should say that for areas that have more cover, you can throw it up higher, because then even if you throw it up like this, if they're kind of looking up a little bit, then they're going to be blind even if they're behind this box. So I'm not saying that you should always throw it high, but you know, for sure it's an option. So starting in tiles, because tiles is also a part of, you know, this side of the map here that goes into mid. The biggest thing is whenever you start in tiles, you want to be careful for cat. So a good flash is simply just
There.
like this. This one's actually not great because they can, this, you want to throw it out more to the left, because they can be anywhere here, here. So it's kind of hard to get a good flash for this, but you can also just have your team smoke that off. But basically, once you get out, you can. I wouldn't normally throw a flash for that, by the way. I don't normally throw a flash for that, but I'm just showing you that in case you're like, you know, I don't know, alone or something, and you want to peek someone that you know you can probably kill here. But I don't normally throw that. Usually, I would just ask my team to smoke it. A good flash that you probably definitely want to throw here, definitely want to throw here is right here. Probably, I like throwing on the ground here, but that's just because if you think about it, if there's someone in this corner, or this corner, their crosshair is going to be right here or somewhere here, depending on how good their aim is. And so the flash right here is always going to blind them, pretty much. So yeah, this is good for helping your team take some control of mid, because if they either shoot the flash or they just don't, and you can kill them if they don't shoot it. But also this will flash for here and here and pizza if they peek, only if they peek. And then if you clear these out successfully, you can kind of walk up. And then again, you can flash for your team. This helps clear. This helps. This actually blinds pizza, and then it makes sure that they can't peek from here. Again, you don't have to do this one. You can instead just walk up. Make sure your flank's covered. Kind of just hold. And if you want to flash into market, this is not bad. You need to watch for here. You need to probably smoke this whenever you do this, because if you flash this, whenever you flash this Reyna, it's very obvious usually where you're going. So for that reason, I'll give you guys another little trick here. What you can do is instead of flashing where you want to go, you can do a little fake. So if I'm in like I usually only do this when I'm in like a clutch. So like if I'm in a 1v3 and they kind of know where I am, I throw a flash like this. And if you throw a flash into CT, where do you think the enemy team is gonna expect you to go? Probably into CT, because you know that's just how flashes work. So you flash like this, they're gonna expect you to push because you're flashing. So then you walk back this way, and then usually you can catch someone walking through like this if you have an idea someone's there or whatever, and you can flank them, get a kill, maybe get two or something. This works even in Immortal, and mid to high Immortal, it works. So you could probably even pull it off in Radiant, but definitely in lower ranks, it's a good strat if you kind of understand the concept. But yeah, other than that, here we can flash. This is a really big flash here
Cutting their vision.
because it helps you get out, which you desperately need to. First, you can smoke this, but anyone that's holding market or expecting you to come from market will be pushed back, either into here, B main, or onto site somewhere, backside maybe. And yeah, so this is also another good flush. You can throw it up, like I said. Oops, my bad. Let me throw that one again.
Cutting their vision.
So yeah, this flash is absolutely everything. There's no way they don't get blinded by this unless they're hiding back here. But of course, you always need to clear this no matter what, because there's always a chance there's some nerd sitting in one of the corners or behind the wall. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so that's pretty much all for attack, I think. I mean, you can get creative. There's pretty much an unlimited number of random flashes you can throw. But those are some of the best ones. But for defense, there's also some really good ones, even though you probably will have better chances flashing, or better better outcomes flashing on attack. But here, this is a really big flash. You can see this is kind of like, you know, Omen flashes here, Jet dashes here. This is kind of like the same thing, except it's not an Omen flash, it's random flash. So this blinds absolutely everyone. And if you usually, if you flash like this, if you think about it, if your whole team's starting here, if your team, even in like Immortal, people will instinctively just shoot that. So if you hear like 3 or 4 people shoot that, the purpose of this flash is to get info. So you know that like 3 people are A main, and from that, if they're hard pushing, you can tell your team. But likely, if 3 of them shoot, they're probably gonna not push and just like play for picks or just rotate. So yeah, this is a good flash for sure. Like this is one of the better flashes that you can throw for defending. So yeah, instead of flashing like this, because this one right here isn't that good in my opinion, because like I said, their crosshair is aimed right here. So if you flash directly on their crosshair, they're gonna shoot it quite quick. And also they can shoot through the flashbang, which will make it which will do damage to you. So a good flash is this one. Show you the different perspectives of it. That's quite a dirty flash. There's not much they can do there except hide here and go back, or shoot it and try to fight you. So yeah, again, if you're sitting Gen, you can throw one up like this. Instead of throwing it out, I like to throw it up like this, because whenever they're running out, this is in the middle, kind of. Maybe this is more in the middle, but you don't expose yourself too much. You throw it up like this. And then flashes everyone that's trying to come out, so they have to shoot it quickly. You can also do this from heaven if you don't want to play Gen. Just remember not to throw it up too high, because it might go out of range, so they won't get blinded by it, which is not good, because then you expect them to be blinded by it when they actually aren't. My apologies if I say a lot, by the way, but it's kind of how I talk. So another thing we can flash here is cat. This is not that great of a flash, I just realized, but instead throwing one for this is better. So this gets flashed, this gets flashed, all of mid gets flashed except for Sabrosa. Yeah. So mid's a little awkward to flash because there's so many things. If you look at it, there's here, 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 be on cat. Yeah, there's just a lot of places you have to flash first. You kind of have to focus like 1 or 2 of them whenever you flash instead of trying to get all of them, because to get all of them you have to throw it literally in the middle. And you can see I'm quite exposed by having to throw it directly in the middle. So yeah, for defending, this is another really good flash I actually use quite a lot. So sometimes teams like to push up cat quickly, and you'll hear like 3 or 2 or 3 or 4 sprinting up cat, and you can just kind of throw a flash like this. Bang. You know, bang, bang. And then you peek with it. Make sure they're not over here. Also, if they're coming out and they look over this way, they'll get flashed. So make sure you don't put it in the corner, but rather in the door, so you have LOS of it. Throw it. If they're already in, free kills, and then you dismiss away. But yeah, let's continue, because, let's see. So if they're pushing up mid, this is a good one. So one thing you'll see that is pretty much almost all the flashes, but especially on defense, you're kind of throwing a lot through walls, right? Because On defense, it's good. It's really, really good and valuable to get information about where the enemies are located. But also, you don't really want to expose yourself on defense because if you die, if you if you die trying to throw a flash like this, it's just really, honestly, quite dumb. You don't need to die like this. Instead, you could throw it like this. You just don't need. Basically, you throw through walls just for safety. So, yeah. For market, this is the same type of flash. If they're trying to push mid, it really just shuts down their push unless they're already up too far. But another flash, bet you guys couldn't guess, through the wall. Again, this is for info. You don't always have to do this, but this is good.
There.
Excuse me.
Cutting their vision.
So you can see I actually pinged. You don't have to ping. It's kind of, you know, but just to show you guys,
There.
this gives you an idea of where the flash should be.
Stealing
But also you can just look on the map. So yeah. Another one we can throw is like this. This is kind of like the A main one that was over here,
there.
but instead it's
Cutting their
here.
vision.
You can see this is pretty sick flash as well. They're forced to either hide.
Cutting their vision.
They're forced to either go back or hide behind this box. So you can actually spam the box if you think there's one there, or you can just hold for this. You can also go over here, but they might expect you because flashing is usually, like I said, a sign of aggression on Reyna's end. So yeah, just be cautious of that. Yeah, for retaking, you can flash. This is the same flash though, as we talked about on attack. But yeah, I think that's kind of it, really. Like I said, there's really an endless number of random flashes I could show you. I'm just trying to show you the ones I think would help various ranks of players. Here's another one from mid. It all depends how you like to play, where you like to play as Reyna. So keep that in mind. My playstyle isn't yours, so come up with some of your own. Maybe use some of mine. And let me know what you guys think of some of these, if you like them, if you have never seen any of them before. And yeah, remember to comment, like, subscribe, and have a good day.